Good day to all my fellow Malaysians. I'm Shashi Kumar here and I'm going to talk about Malaysian politics and the budget. As we all know, the allocated budget for 2021 of RM 322.5 billion is not shared equitably by all ethnic groups. I'm not a politician, but as a concerned citizen of Malaysia, I seriously need to state that this is not only a double standard budget, but a total discrimination as well as an oppression on minorities' rights. Sadly, this budget has given us a very strong negative message, especially to all the non-Muslims here in Malaysia. Almost half of the population of Indian community in this country are at the bottom of the income ladder. This is according to Yayasan Pemulihan Sosial known as YPS. But unfortunately, only RM 100 million allocation has been given to the Indian community for development and RM 177 million for the Chinese community. There is no allocation seen to be given for vernacular schools, whereby we have 527 Tamil schools and about 1,300 Chinese schools throughout the nation. Why? But then again, another segment of the community has received allocation for education in the budget. RM 29 million allocation for Islamic studies for 15,000 students for Tafe schools. RM 6.5 billion allocation for Bumiputra institutions such as MARA and UITM. RM 95 million allocation for microcredit through Tekun, MARA and Agrobank. Why I feel the necessity to state all this is because it's about education. And education is the backbone and the future of the nation. And it should never be compromised. Unfortunately, not a single Malay leader, even those claiming to lead multiracial parties, had the gumption or the morale to call it a blatant unfairness. Other allocations such as RM 1.4 billion for Islamic affairs, one-off special payment of RM 500 to 70,000 religious teachers, on top another 50 million for YAPIM, which is Yayasan Pembangunan Ekonomi Islam Malaysia for Islamic activities, budget for JASA RM 81 million for government propaganda, which was abolished during PH government. Now my question here, which is more important or the vital priorities which needed to be looked into seriously by the government, especially at this point of time? Here we have millions of Malaysians who are struggling to meet their ends just to put food on their table. And with loss of jobs, no source of income to sustain their daily life, pay cuts, businesses shut down, no job opportunities, retrenchment, redundancy, downsizing, long-term unpaid leave and so on. Do you know that more than 2 million Malaysians are jobless at this point of time? How long can one sustain with only BPR and PIS contribution, which is short-term contribution? An allocation of RM 4.6 billion provided to empower the Bumiputra's entrepreneurs. In all these decades of years, are these allocations truly reaching out to the Bumis? According to the National Statistics Department, Sabah has been recorded to be the highest poverty rate at 19.5% based on 2019 poverty line income, followed by state of Kelantan in the second. The rate is about 12.4%, and followed by Sarawak with 9% of poverty rate. As the second poorest state, PAS has demanded for Kelantan State Executive Councillors and Assemblymen to get an increment in their salaries between 3,000 and 5,000 a month. Another pre-Bumi minorities are the native in Malaysia, or orang asli, whom are facing lots of basic human rights issues in their community, such as displacement, land issue, medical and health, no food supply due to destruction of their forests and resource base, no proper education, infrastructure and basic utilities. They have been seen to be totally deprived, discriminated and exploited. Act 134 of Orang Asli seems to be not effective enough. Budget has been allocated to them, but yet it did not meet their needs. Therefore, for my question here, are this budget truly reaching the Orang Asli? Here we can see for decades huge amount of allocation been provided to the Bumiputras, but yet statistics has shown that Bumiputras are still left behind and many are living under poverty. Why is that? How are these allocations being distributed, channeled effectively to all segments of Bumiputras in Malaysia? By the way, since when Bumiputra became a race now? As we all know, there is no transparency or audit being done end of the day. What we can see is politicians are getting wealthier by just playing the racial and religion card on Malay position and Islam sentiments just to gain control with their divide and rule policy. Malaysia is rich with its natural resources. By right, we should be the richest nation in Southeast Asia. A good example is our neighboring country, Singapore. A country with no resource is ranked the richest nation in Southeast Asia in terms of GDP per capita. I don't understand how a country such as Singapore with no natural resources can be the top richest nation. I really hope that our politician can answer me on that. The entire nation seriously need to be overhauled. If not, there is no future for Malaysia. Lately, when I saw Maju with Gerak Independent movement, where they choose and screen potential good leaders who can lead the people of Malaysia without looking at their race and religion, and this is what we need. Do not elect or support racist or fanatic leaders. End of the day, the loss is yours and not theirs. Same goes to the one whom are being ignorant. We need a true leader for all Malaysians, as Malaysia is a unique nation with its multi-religious, multicultural and multiracial society. Let's save it and keep it that way. To the government of the day, start treating all as Malaysians for human rights and justice.